Giants Live have just announced the incredible lineup for the World Open in September. So until this, 2nd of September is the date, and obviously this event includes the World Deadlift Championships as well. We talk about it every year, the 505, people still kind of talking about it. There's a couple of guys that have really kind of put it out there. I know Graham Hicks has put it out there that he wants to do it. Rauno's put it out there. There's another few athletes, Bish is kind of talking about it. And when we look at this lineup, there's a few older guys that kind of really pushed the deadlift world record a few years back that are coming back to this event.
It's a really interesting lineup, I think. So obviously, for the most part, most of the athletes are going to be doing the full competition, and then we do have a couple of guest lifters just for the deadlift. So should we get straight into it?
Let's do it.
So first off is Gav Bilton. This is obviously a home crowd for Gav in Wales. Last year he pulled a deadlift PB at the Deadlift World Championships with 425.5 kilos, and he's had a great year since then, most recently winning his first international, which was the Strongman Champions League in Serbia.
Yeah, good to see Gav back, and he's he's the Welsh deadlift record holder. He'll want to beat that again, and he's got a busy summer of competitions, so it's going to be interesting. If you're a big Gav fan, you're going to want to get to Cardiff for this one. So next up we have Ivan Makarov, and Ivan is coming for the whole competition. A bit of a surprise for me. Nice to see though, glad he's going to come and do the whole contest. Obviously he's won the Deadlift World Championships before. He's one of the most prolific deadlifters on the planet right now. He's someone that is constantly going for these huge numbers.
He wants that 505 so bad, doesn't he?
He really does, and it's good to see that he's coming back to attempt it once again.
Next is our favourite angry Estonian. Rauno Heinla is going to do both the Deadlift World Championships and the full competition. Now, he has won the Deadlift World Championships twice before now, most recently last year when he pulled 476 kilos, which was also the Masters Deadlift World Record.
Absolutely smashed the Masters Deadlift World Record last year, and he wants more this year as well. Also, we have Evan Singleton coming back to the Deadlift World Championships and another Giants Live. He's done very well in a number of Giants Live shows so far. I believe he pulled £1,000 in Manchester.
2021, yeah.
So I'm sure he wants to beat that. But Evan will be looking for the whole performance as well. He's someone that likes to win, and he's done very well in the whole competition at Giants Live shows in the past.
So we already have the Welsh ball, but we also have the Georgian ball joining us, Konstantin Janasha. Now, Konstantin, he had, between last year's Europes and this year's, he didn't have the best year, but he actually, despite the fact he was put in one of the toughest groups, he put on a really good performance at World's Strongest Man this year.
Yeah, normally he makes the final at World's Strongest Man, but this year he was in a very tough group and he actually performed really well. So hopefully now we're seeing that kind of build back to his best. And if Janasha comes in shape, he's a massive deadlifter as well.
Now, a name I'm really excited to see on this list is Trey Mitchell. And interestingly, this is only going to be a couple of weeks after the Shore Classic, which we know, two-time winner, back-to-back winner. He's going to want to win again this year.
Absolutely.
But it's great to see Trey coming over to do a Giants Live.
Yeah, very excited to see Trey come over. Obviously, he's going to be focused on the Shore Classic. That is a tough competition. He's going to have a couple of weeks in between that where he's going to just be
recovering,
relaxing, kind of a little bit of light training, and then coming over for a big deadlift, but hopefully a big performance. We don't often see Trey over for the Giants Live shows. I know he did the World Team Championships last year, which was great.
Arnold UK
I think that's the only 2 times I've seen him in the UK. Obviously competed against him in the Giants Live North America many years ago. But he is a phenomenal athlete, and I'm looking forward to seeing Trey compete in Wales. Now, this is a really interesting one. We've got a former deadlift world champion coming back, the one and only Jerry Pritchett. Now, it's good to see Jerry back.
I'm surprised to see Jerry back. And he's down to do the whole competition.
I'm not surprised, because obviously when I was working with him at the Arnolds, he told me he wants to, have one last run at it. He wants to get to World's Strongest Man again. He wants to, prove he's still one of the best guys out there. And it wasn't that, a couple of years ago, he was looking phenomenal.
He was brilliant.
And then, unfortunately, a few injuries kind of held him back. He's been hungry to keep showing he's progressing. He says he's fit and healthy. And remember 2016 when he was up against Eddie Hall and Benedict Magnusson on the deadlift. Jerry was unbelievable that day. He was looking, potentially good for a world record. Unfortunately, ended up getting a hamstring injury. But excited to see Jerry Pritchard back. He's always a warrior when he's competing, like heart on the sleeve type of guy. He works hard, and looking forward to seeing what Jerry can do.
Next on the list is the current Britain's strongest man, Adam Bishop. Now, Adam had to miss this competition last year because he was injured training for the 505. He's expressed interest in it in the past. Speaking to him earlier this year, I don't know if anything's changed, but he still wants to hit that 505.
Yeah, he's training hard for it. He's another athlete that's going to be competing at the Shaw Classic a few weeks earlier, but he's an amazing deadlifter, and he said he's coming to give absolutely everything, and then he's off out on the town.
Yeah, he's got his stag do.
Stag do in the evening, so right after the show, so it's going to be an interesting one. But hopefully Adam is in great shape and pulls a huge deadlift as well. And we also have Luke Stoltman competing in this show. Now, Luke, not really regarded as one of the biggest deadlifters, but a great all-round competitor. And it's going to be interesting to see what the events are when they're released, to see how Luke will do. He's got some events he can be absolutely incredible on.
Next is Pavlo Nekonechny. Now, I'm really hoping Pavlo can come in this in his best shape, because obviously he won this competition last year. He was incredible on the deadlift. He didn't go for the world record. He left it at 1,000 pounds.
Focus on the whole show.
But he's got to be one of the favourites if he wanted to do a 505. He has to be one of the top names in contention.
Absolutely. He's one of those athletes that's just, when it comes to deadlifting, is just a monster. And I'd love to see him in shape for this one. We also have his countryman, Alexei Novikov, winner of multiple Giants live shows now, and Alexei always turns up to perform. I say it every time he competes because he does. He's one of those athletes that he's always there or thereabouts, puts in a performance. Even when he doesn't look too good, he somehow kind of grinds it out on the day, and we always love watching Alexei, so it'd be good to see him.
The next name is a pleasant surprise, Maxime Boudreau. And I say pleasant surprise because, a bit like Luke Stoltman, deadlift is not really Maxime's best event.
Yeah, and coming back from injury as well.
Coming back from injury, obviously he had to miss the Arnold's and World's Strongest Man this year. But it's really nice to see Maxime picking up more competitions in the second half of the year. And it's going to be really interesting to see what the events are, because he has some events that he's an absolute nightmare on, isn't he?
Oh, he's a great strongman. Like I said, I'm surprised that this is the show he's chosen to come back to. But maybe he's just looking to take opportunities.
He'll be doing the Shaw Classic before then as well.
Yes, he is, isn't he? He's doing the Shaw Classic as well. So he's going to feel like he wants to get some comps in. Obviously, he's missed out early half of the year. So wants to sharpen up, get himself in shape, and what better chance to go and hit a deadlift PB as well. So finally, we have two athletes that are competing just in the deadlifts. Deadlift only. First one being Jamal Browner. Now, this is an exciting one. I know everyone who's like in the powerlifting world particularly absolutely loves Jamal. Great lifter, unbelievable kind of, sumo deadlifter, but a great conventional lifter as well. Good squat, decent bencher, just an awesome powerlifter. But it's nice to see him getting this opportunity to see how he does in the strongman world, if you like, on the deadlift. Obviously, he has to lift conventional in this, but as I said, he's an amazing conventional deadlifter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can pull. The other person that's just doing the deadlift only is Graham Hicks. Now, Graham on his YouTube channel has been kind of putting some videos out there that he is really, really focused on this 505. He's actually ended up pulling out of the Shaw Classic, and he's not doing the whole show on this. So he is clearly, single-minded vision is focused on the deadlift. I don't know how to feel about that. I've trained with Graham so many times, and the man is a beast. You watch him train and you're just like, damn, he's strong.
I think in Graham's case, this actually isn't a bad call, because Graham, he is an incredible static monster, isn't he? But I think he tries to do too much, maybe, when he's trying to improve all these other areas and do this and do this. I think really focusing on one movement like this, he loves to deadlift as well, doesn't he?
He is a huge deadlifter. Yeah. He's got so much power. And I think the fact that he's focusing solely on the deadlift gives him a chance. Whether someone gets 505 is still... I'd like to see lifts closer to the time, and I'm not going to kind of go into any predictions on that just yet. But Graham's the kind of guy, I've almost been a little, not disappointed, but you kind of just feel he's just been slightly underperforming in the last year or so of shows.
He hasn't done what we know.
And when you look at the results, it's not bad. He was third at Britain's. He's done decent performances everywhere. But because of training with him, I know how strong he is, and you kind of think, I know you can do more. And it's like, as a friend, you want to kind of push him and say, "Come on, man, you've got more in you. You're more talented than you think." Sometimes he gets in his own head, but I think just focusing on the deadlift could be a good thing for him. Like you say, he hasn't got to worry about too many other things. He can go into the gym. I know he's very busy. He doesn't have a huge amount of time to train, so he can really single-minded focus on the deadlift and go in and put something huge up. I genuinely hope he does, because it would be good to see.
So one prominent name from last year's podium that won't be competing is obviously the current world's strongest man, Mitch Hooper, because that will be his wedding day.
Yes, the future Mrs. Hooper has put her foot down and said, "You're not allowed out to play and lift on this date." So
on the wedding day.
Yeah, we're getting married. So unfortunately, no Mr. Hooper competing, but what a lineup it is. Their tickets are selling out fast for all the Giants Live shows this year. If you want to get to the Giants Live show, Auntie Liz, tell them where they can get the tickets.
I will include a link for tickets below, but it is only available to watch on officialstrongman.com now, because Facebook no longer do live events, Lotte.
There you go.
So in other lineup related news, Brian Shaw has just announced 2 new names for the Shaw Classic this year. Pavlo Kordiaka, who is just a great addition to any lineup, obviously current Europe's strongest man, and Mateusz Kiliashkovsky as well.
And also he's added Gav Bilton as the official reserve. So if anyone does pull out, Gav Bilton will step in as the reserve. So awesome news for Gav getting these opportunities as well.
So as always, guys, let us know your thoughts on the Giants Live World Open lineup in the comments below. As soon as we have the events, we will bring them to you, and then closer to the day we can do our predictions too. But in the meantime, if you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you guys next time.
We're going to do a little sound test. We're going to compliment Elizabeth on her dress. You look very nice, dear.
This isn't the dress I was talking about. It was the other dress.
In this dress.
Don't you like me in the other dress?
I love you in all your dresses. Just not your flowery ones.
That's most of my dresses.
Well, I like you in this dress, and I like you in your new dress. And I saw some pictures I really like you in as well.
Oh, right. That's enough of that. Sound test done. So first up, no surprises, Gav, the local boy Bilton.
What the fuck was that?
So the first athlete on the list is Gav Bilton. Obviously the local boy.
Go again.
Oh, okay.
Why do you always struggle with Gav?
I don't know.
It's because you want to say sausage so badly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Because it's the only one you get.